Good morning, everyone, and welcome to an overcast Tiskre. We have the Rising Stars batting first against the Riders. And a pretty slow start by the Rising Stars standards, just 7 coming from the first 1.5 overs. Ronnie with the ball, in again, bit of shape away, wind is across the ground, helping that outswing. And that is the end of 2. Had a bit of rain yesterday, but hope it stays away today. Second division over on ground 2 with the Bulls versus the Wolves. So lots of cricket going on today in Tiskre. Tanvir to continue from the key event. Shoaib advances, gets that through the leg side. There's a sweeper out there and it will just be 1 run. So Shoaib looking to push the pace a bit here. Likes to walk at the bowlers, put them off their length. In again, and defended by Meidel. Not been in the best of form, Meidel. Got a 50 last week, but it was fairly slow by his standards as he plays over the top of that one. Just struggling to find the boundary in the last few weeks, which is the hallmark of his game, opening the batting for the Rising Stars. Comes at him, drives straight, and they'll come through for 1. So he needs to be doing that a bit more if he's not finding the boundaries. Rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking, and give Shoaib the opportunity to get those boundaries. Walks at the bowler again, swipes across the line a bit, but he's got enough on this. I think it's going to go for 4. Fielder couldn't get round, and that's the first boundary for the Rising Stars. Both these teams have struggled this year to get the wins on the board. So a big game for both of them. Riders yet to record a win. Rising Stars with just the 1 win so far. Short, he's rocked back and just cut that over cover's head, and mid-off stops with his foot. Shoaib wanted to, Meidel sent him back. And just the 1 to finish over number 3, 14 for none. 2 from 10 for Meidel, that's just not good enough. If he's not going to score the boundaries, he needs to be looking for singles, maybe the odd 2. But 8 dot balls in the first 3 overs, just really putting a lot of pressure on Shoaib here. Looks like Ronnie will continue from the Stockholm end. We've also got junior league matches going on, softball league over in Snelly Stadium in the shadow of Tallinn Old Town. And tomorrow we've got 2 First Division games and the final women's T10 game out here at Tiskre as Shoaib hits that straight up. Man comes round and takes the catch. So big wicket there for the Riders. Shoaib not able to get onto it like he wanted and hit it straight up, and a good catch was taken. So first wicket down for the Rising Stars, and it's the dangerous Shoaib. So a lot riding on Meidl's shoulders now. Needs to find his form, find his mojo, start hitting those boundaries. So Ronnie picking up his first wicket in his second over here. Because today the new ICC helmet regulations come into effect. So all batters will be wearing helmets for any bowlers that have a run-up of more than 3 steps, which is going to be just about everyone in Estonia. New batter is Nazmul, who's had a pretty good year so far with bat and ball. So Rising Stars won't be wanting to lose any more wickets in the power play here, but need to push this score along a bit as well. Seen scores of 150, 160 win games this year. I don't think the Rising Stars would want any less than that. Full toss, worked around the corner straight to the man. Bit of a bobble, but Meidl says no. And no run. So unlucky there, Nazmul. Picked out the fielder. Otherwise, that was 4. Fielder, I think, took a blow to the knee there. He's rubbing it and looks pretty uncomfortable. Ronnie comes in and clean bowled. Big swipe across the line. And Rising Stars in big, big trouble. 2 down in the power play, only 14 on the board. And this is not looking good for the Rising Stars. Finalists 2 years ago. And just missed out on the semi-finals last year. But not having a good start to the season this year, the Rising Stars, as Nahid comes out. And these two need to be here for some time for the Rising Stars to have any chance today, I think. Will not want to lose any more wickets, especially in this power play. Ronnie picking up 2 wickets this over. Be very happy, Rocket. Good bowler on his day when he gets it straight. Looks like today might be that day. What can Nahid do here? Get a bit of a ring on the offside here. Like a fly slip, gully, point, short cover, and mid-off. Still got that outswing going. That one's probably either gone too far or pitched outside leg because he's got that big movement going from leg to off. Umpire Delitha says, nope, not out. Got Mac down this end. So Ronnie comes in again, full and swinging and just kept out by Nahid. He's looking dangerous, Ronnie. Bowling really well. And after 4, 14 for 2 Rising Stars. Really, really under the pump here. Tanvir will bowl his third. Captain Rana looking to keep the pressure right on these two. Try and see if they can get another 1 wicket in this power play. Tanvir coming round the wicket now to Midle. Still got a deep mid-wicket on the fence. I think that's the only... No, we've got a deep cover as well. So we've got a boundary rider on each side. Just cleaning up if any wide balls. As Midle drops that into the leg side, but Naheed not interested in a quick single. Riders want to keep their foot on the gas here. Don't let the Rising Stars get out of this hole they find themselves in. It's across him. He slashed at it over the slip and not going to make the boundary, I don't think. They're back for 2. So going hard at that, Midle, but getting away with it. Kev asks, is the swingers prominent at the Kev end? It's not looking as prominent, but with the right-hander bowling, I think it's probably going against his natural away swing and nullifying that. That's on the legs and hits Midle, and that should be a leg bye, I'd imagine. Yep. So yeah, I think it's accentuating Ronnie's outswing from the other end. But from this end, Tanvir's natural away swing is being nullified by the wind and not much going on. Naheed flat bats that down to mid-off, no run. Pitched up and just worked into the offside. He wants a single. Midle's not interested at all. Didn't even move. And may need to be a bit more proactive here, Midle. Too many dot balls, putting pressure on them, and then the loose stroke will come, and then the wicket comes. Just missed that one. Didn't manage to get a tickle through to the keeper, and that's the end of 5. So 17 for 2 from 5. Run rate of 3.5 isn't going to be nearly good enough, you would imagine. These two need to build a partnership here. So good 3 overs there from Tanvir, none for 12. And Ronnie back to bowl the final over of the power play. He, I believe, has 1 for 4 of his 2 overs so far. So fantastic bowling from Ronnie, the Rocket. 2 for 4 from 2 overs. Can he get a third here? Really nail the Rising Stars in this power play. Bowling to Midle. That's a full toss. He's just got that past the mid-wicket and down to long on for a single. Pushes the man back on the leg side for Naheed. I would imagine with the outswing he's getting, it's going to be a good job for Naheed to get it over that side, as he has a big swing at that, and a miss, and another dot. So I think if I was Ronnie, I'd be leaving that guy up and saying, go on, try and hit over the top. It would have to be a hell of a shot, and most likely you're going to get a top edge. Unless he's planning on a bit of chin music. As Naheed drops that to the square leg where the fielder would have been. And gets a single. Ronnie, and again. Nudged into the offside by Meidel. Fielder comes in quickly and there's no run. So these dot balls really hurting the Rising Stars here. Just been so many of them in this power play. Full outside off. That's a good shot by Meidel, but it's stopped on the ring by the field. A fantastic stop there and just one. So Meidel probably thought that was a boundary, but managed to pick out the fielder, and he did well to get enough on it to stop it and keep it to one. So good fielding there. Kev says, surely not quick enough for chin music. Well, you know, bowlers, Kev. I remember Warney bowling a bouncer in a test match, so maybe it's the element of surprise he's going for. Got to work pretty hard to get anything up head height on this pitch when you're bowling this pace, though. Just defended by Nahid. Last ball of the power play. Ronnie, 2 for 8 of his 3 overs. Absolutely fantastic little spell there by Ronnie. I'm sure he'll be back to bowl the last over. So 21 for 2. Definitely Riders' power play there. Rising Stars just not able to get away and losing those 2 wickets. They need to consolidate this partnership. And looks like Tanvir is going to bowl his 4th over. So bowling out here, Rana just wanting to keep building the pressure on these two. Keep his strike bowler on. So maybe we'll see Ronnie at the other end as well. We'll see. Meidel now first ball after the power play. And he's walked across and tried to glide that down to the third man area, but didn't really get onto it. And straight to the fielder. Around the wicket again, and across the line, fielder's coming round, and he won't get there, and that is 4 runs. So a bit short there from Tanvir, but Meidel pulled it from well outside off stump. Kev says bowling and fielding been really good in the power play. Yep, took a good catch and haven't been any major misfields to speak of. They've kept it really tight, the Riders. And Meidel again whips that to the leg side, the other side of the fielder, and another 4. So just too short here from Tanvir. Not what Rana was looking for, I'd imagine. And now he's switching back to over the wicket. And I'd imagine not going to make much difference if he bowls another short one, but we'll see. In again. Pitched up and just dropped on the leg side, but man in there short and no run. Again, pitched up, and again, just dropped onto the leg side. Meidel's pushing for a single here. Fielder not able to pick it up, and they get through. So much better over this for the Rising Stars, but they're going to need a few of these to start getting that run rate a bit higher. Tanvir pitches up, and he just chips that on the leg side. Fielder comes in, and they just get a single. So 2 men now out patrolling that mid-wicket area. And 1 long on, and it's the end of over 7, 31 for 2. Rising Stars will be much happier with that one, but they need to keep it going. So it looks like a new bowler. As we see the keeper, now he's going to be keeping up, needs to wear a helmet. Also part of the new ICC regulations, mandatory helmets if you're going to keep up to the stumps. We were lucky enough to make the local newspaper a couple of weeks ago when we had 3 ambulances to the ground in one day for head injuries. So ICC regulations hopefully put a stop to that, as even if you don't want to wear a helmet, unfortunately now you have to. As Escheneur comes in and always worked that on the leg side. The fielder in the circles tried to stop it with his foot and it's gone through, but the sweeper comes round to cover and just 1 run, so no damage done. Short and wide and cut by Meidel, but the sweeper will pick it up and just the 1 run. Full, and he's just out of the reach of the fielder there, and in between the 2 fielders on the boundary. He stopped it with his foot, so kept it to 2. So good fielding out there. Well, not sure you could ever say good fielding with your feet, but effective fielding out there. Almost a catch there from Nahid. Gets Cush in there, and it just a little bit too far to his right. Couldn't quite get there, but living dangerously, Nahid. As Meidel now decides to redress himself. Center in again. Full. Nahid swings. He's dropped. He's dropped. Meidel gets back just as well. So hit that hard, Nahid, but got both hands to it, and he should have taken it. So there's the first reprieve for the Rising Stars today. It was a tough chance, but didn't have to move. Should have taken it. Nahid, after getting away with one the ball before, gets away with another one there, so will he make him pay? Pitched up again, he's got under that and launched it. The fielder's coming in, it's not going to get there. And 2 bounces to Ronnie, and they get through for a single. So Nahid just chipping the ball around here. Needs to be a bit more careful not to pick out the fielders in close though. As Meidel defends this back to the bowler. And that is the end of 8, 36 for 2. And Ryder's still well on top here. So who will it be from the Kiev end? Murphys. So he comes in to bowl his first ball. Nahid slaps that back past him, but man on the boundary here, and they will just get the one. Short and wide, and Midle cuts that, but straight to the fielder. And there's going to be overthrows here. Lazy work, not backing up, and not a great throw. So they'll get 2. Poor work by the square leg fielder there. Did not move at all to back up. Slashed in the air just to the side of the point fielder, and that's 4 runs for Midle. So a little bit of luck coming the Rising Stars' way. They're playing dangerous shots in the air, but getting away with it. And how much will that drop cost? And again, full, and big swing from Midle. Didn't manage to connect. Certainly trying here to get himself going. Let's hope it's not too long before he starts hitting the middle of the bat. Pitched up and just doesn't get onto that at all. Chips down to long on for a single. And 30-run partnership up between these two. So I want to see that at least double, I'd imagine. So we're heading towards 10 overs. Oh, he's bowled. Great ball by Murphys. Middle stump. And another wicket falls. So Nahid didn't look very comfortable today. Only 7 off 15. Midle just watching as partner after partner departs. Good ball there from Murphys. Nice Yorker. What do I think Stars will need to be competitive from this position, asks Kev? Well, it's got to be 150. Need 100 of the last 10 to really give themselves a chance here as Udian comes out to join Midle. Very experienced Estonian cricketer, Udian. So end of 9 overs, 44 for 3. Need to keep the wickets in check here, but also need boundaries. So to continue to Meidel. He's gone the reverse and he has picked out the fielder. Udian's run out. No. He's just got back. What a fantastic throw. And unfortunately, not in time. As usual, the riders, fielders remonstrating with the umpires because everything's out when they're bowling and nothing's out when they're batting, but sure the umpires are fairly used to that. Full, Meidel hits it straight to the fielder again, but he's just managed to deflect that down to long off and they get a single. So Udian to face his first ball here. Rocks back, cuts that nicely, but there's a man out on the boundary and just one. So good positive start there from Udian. To Meidel again, and it's another full one. Oh, he's inside edged it into the ground. And no run. So still struggling, Meidel, to find the middle of the bat. Just doesn't look like himself. He's danced down at that and just, again, not got onto it at all. And it could have gone straight to the fielder there. Luckily, a couple of metres to the right. Really not in control of that shot at all. Trying to make it happen, but struggling as he's just being told by Delita, the umpire, not to run down the middle of the pitch. So that's a warning. Last ball of the 10th. Full and big swing from Udian, but nothing on it. And 10 overs are down with the score on 47 for 3. And we will have a short break. We'll be back with you shortly. Well, first ball back from the break, and the big wicket falls. Idle gone for 25. Another catch taken by the Riders. And Rising Stars, really, really big trouble here. 47 for 4. Riders very happy out there. They've done everything right so far today, and not much has gone right for the Rising Stars. Give you an update on ground 2, where we have the second division match between the Bulls and the Wolves. So the Wolves batting first, 67 for 2 off 10 overs. So going along reasonably well down there. As Animal comes in, and a big hoik over the top. Fielder's coming round, picks it up really nicely with one hand, and just the one run. So Animal not wasting any time here. Decides that best way to get out of trouble here is to hit your way out of trouble. And at 48 for 4, probably worse things you can try. Full, good ball again by Mo Fizz. Got those Yorkers going well today. Udian just keeps it out. Mo Fizz, and again, big swipe by Udian. No bat on ball, and another dot. So the Riders looking like a different team today to the team that's lost all their matches so far. Really, really good bowling and fielding display so far. And that's on the pads. Udian flicks it away. The fielders let that through. That square leg. Is it going to go all the way? Yes, it does. So just as I start to praise them, that one straight through the fielder. And 4 runs. So nice shot by Udian. Not trying to hit it too hard, just using the pace on the ball and all the way along the ground. A nice shot. I think that may even have been the captain runner that misfielded that one, so you won't be very happy with that. On the pads again, no, that's a wide. Full again. That's probably going down leg, I think. Just looks like Mo Fizz is moving the ball in, so going with the wind and causing some problems. End of 11, 53 for 4. And looks like yes and no will continue. So will Animal continue attacking here? How has that missed? Just over middle stump. Big swipe across the line. Didn't have much chance of hitting that with that sort of technique, but looks like he's going to continue attacking. Comes in again. Fuller, and again, as they scamper through for a quick single. He's just made it in, probably through to the wrong end. But again, just over the stumps there. Can't have been very far from flicking the bails. And Animal just needs to think a bit about a straight bat instead of just a big swipe across the line of the ball. So, Udian back on strike. Listener none for 8. So far, it's been pretty tight, as that's a bit short outside off, but the sweeper on the offside will pick it up, and they are looking for 2, and they get back well. So good running there. Short again, he's backed away again and picked out the fielder straight to him this time, so just the single. So sensible batting here from Udian. Can't afford to lose another wicket here, the Rising Stars. Pitched up again, full toss, he's got under it. Man, he's coming in and he takes the catch. Good catch there. Came in about 10 metres and never in doubt. Looked very comfortable under that one. And Animal departs after a little bit of a whirlwind there. Swung at just about everything and eventually connected and was caught. So 5 down for the Rising Stars. Can they put 100 on the board at this rate? They'll be extremely disappointed with their performance so far as Sheben comes out to bat. Another player who only knows one way, and that is attack. And if he gets going, anything could happen here. Probably the last real threat to the Riders here. If they can get rid of Sheben. Not sure the Rising Stars have anyone that can score 10 runs and over. Listener in and just watchful from Sheben. I think he's probably well aware of the fact that if he loses his wicket here, that's big, big trouble for the Rising Stars. Mofis will continue here from the Kiev end. Just hunting wickets here, the Riders. They don't want to bowl 20 overs today. Need to keep those wickets ticking. Eight overs left. 5 wickets left for the Rising Stars. Nice in-swinger from Mofis, just lifted onto the leg side by Udian, and they will come back for an easy 2. He's been good, Udian. Not taking any undue risks and just finding the gaps. Full, and again, just lift it onto the leg side, but a bit closer to the fielder there, so they'll just get one. Just not doing anything too over the top, just finding singles where he can. And looks like the scorers have missed the first ball, so that's always handy. Oh, even worse, they've put the wrong score in for the first ball. So we have the wrong batters on strike on the display as Sheben tickles that round the corner, and they will get back for 2. Even better, they've switched the batters without fixing the score. Yet again, I'm astounded by the level of incompetence when all you got to do is press a button on a tablet. Sheben, big swing, straight up in the air. Ronnie's underneath it, and he puts it down. He called the keeper out of the catch, which was probably a mistake, but could not hold on to it. That would have been the end for the Rising Stars, I think. Can Sheben make them pay for that drop? Oh, another good Yorker length from Mofiz. Udian unable to get that on it. Full toss. Sheben bunts it back down the ground. He's run the first one hard. Will they come back? No. Oh, he is. He's coming back. And good running there from Sheben. Udian wasn't convinced, but Sheben wasn't missing out on 2 there. Excellent over for the Rising Stars. 9 off it, despite what it says on the screen. So we'll continue here. This should be his last over, I think. Sheben will take strike. And works his way across, smacks that to leg side, and it's through the fielder on the boundary for 4. Hit that very well, Sheben, but the fielder really should have done a bit better with that. But the Rising Stars will take the runs any way they can get them at this point. Sheben rocks back, cuts that. Straight to the fielder on the boundary, and 1 run. So how expensive is that drop of Sheben going to be here? His capabilities to hit quick runs. Udian just watches that go down the leg side, and that's a wide. Been pretty good with the wides today, the riders. It'd be a shame to have them start creeping in now as Udian's just picked out the deep cover and just one run. That's another wide, so just losing a little bit of discipline here, the riders. Can't let the Rising Stars back into this. Just good length there from SNO. Sheben not sure whether to go back or come forward and just ends up prodding it out onto the offside. Full on the legs, and that's going to be another wide. So 3 wides. Not good enough from SNO here. Slow bowler. Should not be bowling 3 wides in and over. Pitched that one up, and lovely shot from Sheben straight back over the bowler's head. 4 runs. So, unfortunately, SNO's lost his way a bit in this over. And another good over so far for the Rising Stars. 13 off it with 1 ball left. Pitched up again. Sheben swings across the line, but he's given LBW. Looked pretty plumb to me, despite his obvious disappointment. But just walked straight across in front of his stumps and tried to swing that across to the leg side. And another wicket falls. And what was an excellent over for the Rising Stars comes undone with the last ball. 78 for 6 off 14 overs. And Tanbeer will come out to join Udian. It looks like the captain, Rana, is going to have a bowl. He fancies a few tail-ender wickets here, Rana. Still, we'll be hoping to push that score up around at least the 120 or 130 mark here, the Rising Stars, to give them something to defend, but really not looking very good right now. So, coming around the wicket runner. Full, Udian can't quite get hold of it, but it's out to the leg side and they should come back for 2. Good throw in from the boundary, but gets home nicely, Udian. Wide, pushed across him by Rana and can't get anything on it, and a dot ball. So just using that angle around the wicket here, Rana. And we've somehow found 2 dot balls for the scorers. As he lifts that into the leg side, the fielder comes around and they come back for another 2. Looks like the scorers have worked themselves out. Run it in again, a full one, and just manages to get enough on that to get it down to the long on for a single. So good batting from Udian. Can Tanbeer support him for a few overs here? In again, a bit short, and just pushes it through the offside here. Big chase for the fielder as they come back comfortably for 2. So good start from Tanbeer. Let's check in on ground 2. Wolves 110 for 4 off 15.5, so run rate around 7. Projected score looking about 140. And should be a good chase that for the Bulls, as Rana always, yet again, just managed to get that past the fielder and pick up a single. So, yep, that should be another close game in Division 2. We've had some really good games this year. Lots of close ones in Division 2, so very competitive down there. As we finish the 15th over here, 86 for 6. Projected score just 115. As I think we are going to see Kush come into the attack here. Left hand bowler. Looks like the wind is picking up as the camera's going everywhere. Just some adjustments to the field here from Kush. And in he comes. Short and slow. And the batter, not sure what he got onto that, but not convincing at all, as he's warned for running down the pitch again. So that was a bit of a strange one to start from Kush there. But looks like a run, nope, leg by. So leg by there. Must have hit shoulder or something. Very strange. Udian just backs away as the fielder's talking. In comes Kush again. Just dropped onto the offside. Quick single, well run by Tanbeer there. Udian continuing just to knock the ball around for 1s and 2s. Really intelligent innings from him here. Kush in again. Full. And Tanbeer gets under it, but a couple of bounces down to long off and another single. The wind picks up again. Kush in across Udian, and he just moves back and plays it into the offside. Fielder took a bit of a tumble trying to pick the ball up, so they get back for a second. Well run. And somehow they've managed to put down 2 singles. Just guides that down to third man, and they come back for 2. Goes at him. Loses one hand on the bat, so not in control of that, but manages to find the gap, and they come back for 2 again. So some excellent running there from Udian and Tambir, turning 1s into 2s, and a pretty good over for the Rising Stars. Takes them to 95 with 4 overs left. And to be honest, from where they started, I think that's pretty good. 4 overs to go. If they can push this up to 130 or even 140, they're starting to look like they may have a competitive total. They'll need to keep running those 2s. Really probably need to pick up a few boundaries. Looks like Mofiz again. Ooh, a big swing from Tambir and no run. So looks like Tambir's looking to pick up those boundaries, but just needs to be careful here. Don't need a lot of dot balls as he comes and gets an outside edge, and it flies away past the keeper. The fielders are chasing hard, and they manage to get it, and they come back for 3. Well run by Udian. Pushed hard for that third one. And again, Udian's opening his stance up, looking to hit onto the leg side. Can't get onto it, but they'll get a single. So 99 now for the Rising Stars. Tanbir, another big swing and nothing on it, and another dot ball. So Tanbir trying to hit the ball a bit hard here, I think. 3 balls he's faced this over, and he's missed 2 and got a outside edge on the third one. Needs to just pull it back in and try to time the ball a bit, I think. That's a much better shot as he just whips it down the ground for a single. And the bowler decides, I'll just let the ball hit the stumps. Couldn't just take a step and pick it up. That'd be too hard. Slow the game down, make the stumps get reset. Brainless. Udian comes at him and he's bowled. Middle stump again from Mofiz. And an excellent innings from Udian comes to an end on 25 from 22 deliveries. And they've got to 100. mainly on the back of Udian sticking around and playing a very good innings. Was sensible, didn't try to hit anything out of the ground, and showed that you can go at a good strike rate without hitting boundaries. So Riaz coming out to bat now. 7th wicket down for the Rising Stars. And 3 overs left. Job 1, get to 20 overs. Job 2, get to at least 120. And for the Riders, very simple, get 3 more wickets. Kush will continue here from the Stockholm end. Around the wicket, he comes in and just dabbed down by Tanvir, beats the man on the circle and just pulled in inside the rope by Tanvir, and they're back for 2. So nice shot from Tanvir there. Looks like he's realised that hitting the ball as hard as he possibly can may not be the most effective way to score runs here. As he runs at Kush, beaten on the inside edge there and no run. And they, I believe, have the wrong batters on strike. Excellent job. And they're all up, but there's a delayed reaction from the bowler, and the umpire doesn't want anything to do with it. And swinging down the leg, took off there for a single, but sent back and no run. So scorers once again not particularly accurate on the tablet. I believe they've missed 2 Rising Stars runs so far, as that one down the leg side for a wide. So I believe the Rising Stars are actually on 103. Four, sorry. Kush again, and another outside edge, but straight to the fielder this time, and they'll just get through for a single. So last ball of the 18th over here. And played into the offside, and they're going to come back for 2. Good running again. Taking the score to 105, which I think is actually 107. And 2 overs left. So it looks like Ronnie will bowl the 19th. So the umpires have worked out that something's wrong with the score, but we'll fix it once the innings is done, as that's squirted down the leg side by Ronnie for a wide. Ronnie in again, and again down the leg side. He says he's changed ends here, and what was working really well from the other end was his away swing, which was greatly helped by the wind, but now the wind at the other end pushing it down the leg side for him. Better. Swing and a miss from Tanbeer. Two for 10 from 3.1. Ronnie was excellent at the start of the innings. Short, and swing and a miss again from Tanbeer. So getting away with that run, Ronnie. Probably deserved to go to the boundary, but no bat on it from Tanbeer. And Ronnie in again on the pads and flicked to the leg side by Tanbeer. He could be run out. Yes, he is. So took off with the shot, but hit the ball straight to the fielder, and a good throw, and the keeper did the rest. So another wicket falls for the Rising Stars. Just the 9 balls remaining in the innings. 2 wickets left now. Well and truly into the bowlers here. Umpires conferring, probably on the score, which again I think should be 109, not 107. Yusuf coming out to bat. Riders looking to pick up these last 2 wickets. And Riders trying to work out where to put the field for a left-hander. Kev, a bit of advice for the bowler there with bowl at fuller. It's funny, they don't tend to listen, Kev. Ronnie in again. There we go, there's a nice full one, and a bit of an outside edge there from Yusuf through the gap on the offside, and they get a single. So I think the Rising Stars have done pretty well to get to this point from where they were. But they just need to finish it off here. And there's another wide from Ronnie. Just pushing a bit hard here. And that wind taking it down the leg side. Full up and played back to the bowler. Bit of a misfield, but the short cover fielder cleans it up and no run. So last ball of the 19th here for Ronnie. 2 for 12 his figures from his 3.5 overs. And another wide. So spoke too soon. Hopefully this will be the last ball of the 19th over for Ronnie. Four wides in this over. Not good enough. That's better. Swinging in. Just over the top of off. And no bat on ball. So 19 overs down, score is 110 for 8. And last over to be bowled here by Kush, looks like. Excellent 4 overs from Ronnie, 2 for 13. Could have kept the wides in check, it would have been even more spectacular figures. Now Kush bowling round the wicket to the left-hander to bowl the last over. Full toss on the pads and flicked around the leg side by Yusuf. They should get back for 2, and they do, as the fielder collects that at deep backward square leg. And a good shot from Yusuf. Full and up in the air. It's going to fall in the gap and just 1 run. Full, nice in-swinger from Kush there. Just chopped down on the offside by Riaz, and they're through for 1. Oh, a big swing from Yusuf, but no bat and no run. So 2 balls left. Kush keeping it nice and tight here. Slower ball and Yusuf unable to get bat on ball again. So another dot from Kush. Excellent last over here. And last ball coming up. Rising Stars need a 6 to hit 120. comes at him, up in the air. Fielder's going back. It's just going to be over him, and they come back for 2. And they managed to last the 20 overs, the Rising Stars. 116 for 8. I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes 118. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes. So we're back for the second innings here. Wide there from Yusuf. So chasing 117 to win. Just an update on the 2 runs. Apparently 2 short runs in the last innings. There's another wide from Yusuf. So this win today should help the left-hander with the in-swing, but he needs to start the ball a bit outside off stump here, just to make sure he's not bowling these leg side wides. And he comes again, and another leg side wide. So poor start here for the Rising Stars. Not what they need with such a small total on the board. And he just needs to find that line. Should trouble the batters with the in-swing, but not going to trouble anyone if it's down leg side. And he comes again. That's better. Onto the stumps. Just work to the leg side. And Udian picks up at short mid-wicket, and no run. So uphill battle here for the Rising Stars. They'll be looking for the same thing the Riders did, which is early wickets and keeping the boundaries to a minimum. Down the leg again. Just can't afford this, the Rising Stars. 4 wides already, only 2 legal deliveries. Just not good enough from Yusuf. And that's another bad ball, but managed to get the batter to hit it. So not called a wide, and they get through for a single. I think Anand thinking he's missed out on an easy boundary there. Probably not too far off. Very short, very slow, and just couldn't manage to find the middle of the bat. Full toss on the offside, and through the short fielder, but the fielder on the circle picks it up, and there's no run. And nice and straight for a change. Just blocked onto the leg side by a lock. Yusuf in again. Much better ball, defended, and finally finishes the first over. 5 from it, 4 wides, so it could have been a lot better, but they'll take it. And we're going to see Shoaib opening the bowling. Looks like we are. Captain banking on himself, looking for wickets. Shoaib to start from the Stockholm end. Good start, nice and straight, not giving an end any width to work with there. Bit short, but and not able to get onto it. With a quicker one there from Shoaib. Another quicker one, and that's through the gap in the field. So racing away, and it will be 4 runs. So Shoaib a bit short here. Now he's pulling up his deep mid-off, and he is putting a man out on the boundary. So it seems like he's going to continue to bowl short. And a little bit fuller there and just defended. So he can't afford to give any width here on the offside because there is no one protecting that side of the boundary. He got 2 out on the leg side. Leggy there. Change up from Shoaib and just worked around the corner from Anand for a single. Short again and just work to the leg side. Field will come around and stop it and just a single. So 11 off the first 2 overs. But the vital thing for the Riders is no wickets lost. And the Rising Stars need to start making some inroads into this Riders batting lineup. Will be Yusuf to continue. Let's hope he's found his radar now and keeps the wides to a minimum. Bit of a slower ball there, I think, and a lock just getting it off the toe out to the leg side. They're running hard and they're back for 2. Another good ball from Yusuf. Just dug out for a lock and no run. Shorter, but straight and just dabbed down on the offside for no run. So better so far. Oh no. We've got an overthrow from an unnecessary throw. So disappointing. Shoaib remonstrating with the umpire saying the ball should be dead, but keeper never touched it. Oh, he's sending it back. Oh, I don't think that's the right decision. I don't think the keeper ever touched the ball. Fielder we'll have to have a look at it later. End result is it ends up being a dot ball. And delete that. Makes the decision to send the batters back to the ends they were at. Into the body from Yusuf. The lock works to the leg side again, and no run. Full and just played down to mid-off for a single. A much better over this from Yusuf. Just a 3 from it so far. No wides. Can he finish off with another dot? Into the body. No, he's beat the field, and that's going to go all the way for 4. So just too short there from Yusuf, ruining what was otherwise a very good over. And Riders moved to 18 off 3. Still no wickets gone, and that's all they need to do. 6 runs and over wins the game. Still overcast here. A couple of blue spots starting to poke through over towards Tallinn. But cold wind blowing, and I think that will be the prevailing conditions for the rest of this game at least. As Shoaib continues from the Stockholm end. Short again. It's top edged, but it's into a big gap, and they should get back for 2, and they do. So again, Shoaib continuing with this short bowling. And again, just short of a length and blocked back to the bowler. Wide and edgy, but through the gap. The fielders are chasing down towards the boundary here, and they'll pull it up a couple of metres inside. And thought about 3 there, but just the 2. So Shoaib doing the one thing he shouldn't do, and moving a field when a ball's hit in a particular spot, especially when it's an edge. Chances of it going to the same place again are pretty slim. And if you wanted your fielder there, you should have put him there in the first place. Now he's moving another fielder, trying to narrow that gap. Short outside off, fielder comes around, if collects it well, and a better throw, might have seen an end in trouble, but they get through for 1. Outside off again. It's in the air and it's caught. Sheben, I think, there at gully on the circle, just taking an easy catch. And Anand is gone. So first wicket for the Rising Stars. They need plenty more of those if they're to stay in this game. It's small total on the board. That is the end of over number 4, 23 for 1. And the game may be just slightly now coming back towards the Rising Stars, but you'd think the Riders are still in a pretty good position here and would have to have a pretty monumental collapse to not make this total as the captain comes out, Rana. He's already got a 50 this year, and if he did that again today, you'd think the team would be home. So Yusuf to continue. Well, it's up in the air, high. It's going to fall in the gap, and Shoaib comes round and collects, and just a single. So not a very convincing shot there from a lock. And just lucky it fell in between the two fielders there. So Rana to face his first ball. On the pads, probably could have been a wide if he'd left it, but he's flicked that through and the fielder's misfielded. He's going to pull it up just inside the boundary and they'll get back for 2. A very poor throw in. Sees Rana looking for a third. Little bit of village cricket going on out here. Throws flying around everywhere. Misfields. But just 2 runs. Yusuf now deciding to bowl around the wicket. Nice on-off stump, defended by Rana. He knows he doesn't have to do anything silly today, Rana. Runner ball wins the game. Oh, big appeal, but not given. Didn't look like an edge. Maybe he's hit the pitch there. And umpire Mac Sedgwick not interested. The good ball from Yusuf. Really radaring in on that off stump of Rana's. And a bit of a slash at that one, Rana. And just 1 run. And end of 5, 27 for 1. Pretty evenly poised, but you would still think with such a small total, Riders are in front here. Shoaib looks like he'll bowl the last over of the power play. We'll check in on ground number 2 with the Wolves playing the Bulls. Wolves set 140. It's 141 to win for the Bulls. They're 42 for 2 off 5 overs. So a couple of wickets falling, but good run rate. As Shoaib continues here. Short again and pulled by Rana, and that is going to be a 4. So just bowling a little bit short today, Shoaib, and not able to adjust. And a batsman of Rana's quality is not going to miss out on that. easy 4. And of course Shoaib moves the fielder to where the 4 was hit, rather than not bowl short. Side off and played into the offside by Rana, but straight to the fielder and no run. On the pads and just defended. Another dot. Of course, Rana knows he's hit a 4 off the first ball. Only needs another couple of singles this over and they're on the run rate required. Outside off, he's found the fielder again. So finding the middle runner, but not quite finding the gap yet on that offside. On the pads again and just flicked into the leg side. Quick single. Rana gets there in the end. So last ball of the power play here. Short again from Shoaib and pulled out to the fielder on the boundary for 1. So finish the power play with 33 for 1. Just about where they need to be, Riders. Rising Stars need wickets. Looks like Sheben coming into the attack from the Kiev end. Bowl his leg spinners, most likely from around the wicket. Trying to pitch a roundabout leg stump and spin away. Use that angle across the batter. Probably won't see him throw them up. They'll be probably pretty quick and flat today. We see a pretty spread leg side field now after the power play has finished. And now we see 1 pushed back on the offside. So I'm not sure with a total this small if you can afford to really spread the field this much and make it a bit easy to pick off singles. But that's a good start from Sheben using that angle. And look, not able to get bat on ball. Throws it up a bit on the pads and blocks that into the leg side, fielded by Udian and no run. So good start here from Sheben. Needs to be at his best today. Another good one. Just played into the ground, fielded by Meidel and no run. Around the wicket again, across the batter again, cut shot into the offside and 1 run. Fielders scurrying about but unable to stop the single and need to be pretty careful with the throws from that side because there's not much backup for the keeper on the leg side. Sheben flat. Rana just cross bats that down the ground and looking for 2. And they get back for 2. Throw came in to the middle of the pitch. Probably need to pick an end. So last ball, Sheben's first over here. Flat again, outside off. It's in the air, but through the gap, and that will go all the way to the boundary. So what was a good over for the Rising Stars. Rana ruins it with the last ball, hitting a boundary and keeping his team on top. 40 for 1 off 7 overs. Whilst they continue to get the boundaries, they will stay on top here. So change of bowler at the Stockholm end. Udian to bowl his leggies, so leg spin from both ends. Udian's will be a bit more your conventional leg spinner. Will be a bit more flight, a bit more air. Give the batters something to think about. See if they want to take it on. There it is, very loopy. And a look just, he's gone the one-handed pick up Naheed, and it's gone straight through him, and they'll come back for 2. So disappointing there from Naheed, not supporting his bowler very well. But nice and loopy there from Udian. Looking for a mistimed shot at top edge. It's a bit wide there. Hits it into the offside. Well fielded on the circle by Shoaib, and it keeps it to 1. Aditya Panwar apparently is a huge fan of the commentator. A bit of a weirdo Aditya, but that's fine. I measured the length of the straight boundaries here during the week, Aditya, because I saw you hit 3 6s and I figured they must have the boundaries in the wrong place. But I don't know, maybe you've been going to the gym this year, because there were some good hits. Udian in again. Loopy again, outside off. It's a top edge, but it's over the infield. Shoaib chasing hard, and we'll just pick it up inside the boundary, and they come back for 2. So a bit streaky from Alok, and that's what Udian's looking for, the top edge. He got it, but just enough bat on that from Alok to get over the circle. And Shoaib has dropped one back now on the offside as Udian throws in the change-up. Didn't quite get it right, was a bit short, and Alok hits into the leg side for a single. Short, wide, Rana makes him pay with that. Was never going to get away with that one with Rana on strike, and just losing a bit of control there, Udian. Dragging it down and giving Rana an easy 4 runs. So another over finishes with a boundary. Riders 51 for 1 and very much in control here. Rana looking to steer his side to their first victory of the year. Shepin now changing to over the wicket. And you would think if the Rising Stars can't take the key wicket of Rana very soon, this game will very quickly be out of their reach as he slaps that down the ground through the gap in the offside. The sweeper comes around to pick it up, and they're back for 2. Brings up the 30-run partnership as Shepin into Rana again. He pulls that over the leg side, and fielder should pick that up, and they're back for another 2. So Rana making this look very easy. at the moment. And the bowler's not quite hitting their marks. Of course, the Riders bowlers were very impressive, especially the first 10 overs. Really asked a lot of questions of the Rising Stars and picked up a lot of wickets early on. Shebin, nice full one there. Rana looking for a single, but Shebin cuts it off and no run. Quicker one from Shebin, and Rana just dances down and drives that in the air down to long off for a single. And the umpires are coming together. Looks like they're happy. Maybe a missed ball from one of them perhaps. But everything all good, and Shebin will continue to a lock. Throws it up. It's a full toss. It's probably going to be a no ball. He's got it round the leg side, and they're through for a single. And we'll see if Dalitha signals a no ball. Yes, no ball's been signalled, and it is a free hit. So Rana on strike here for the free hit. Comes down, straight back at Shebin. He's dropped it, but it wouldn't have mattered, but may have hurt himself in the process. Rana gets through for a single. And we'll see if Shebin is okay. Looks like he's going to continue bowling. With one ball left here in the 9th over. But that one would have hurt. Throws that one up. Oh, very loopy lock. A long time to think about it. Managed to just get the bat on it and no run. So end of 9, 59 for 1. Riders comfortably ahead of the run rate now and looking in control. Rising Stars really need to do something quickly if they want to get back in this game. Looks like another change of bowler from the Stockholm end. Maybe Nasmul. It is Nasmul. Bowls to Rana on the pads. Just works that into the leg side. And they will just... some about 3 grabs to pick that up by the fielder, but they decide against running on the misfield. Nasmul continues to a lock. That's wide outside off and called as a wide. Ooh, no ball. Looks like, yes, the back foot breaking the return crease. So no ball given. bit bemused, the bowler. Not sure he knew that rule, but no balls given, and it'll be a free hit. Straight one. He's lifted it, but has not got much on it, and they will settle for 1 run. Full runner just defends and a dot. Drops it down in the offside, but the fielder comes in and no run. Nasmall flirting with that return crease again there, bowling very wide. Umpires conferring again. 2 extras so far in this over. It would have been an excellent over for Nasmall, other than the wide and the no ball, unfortunately. Let's see if he can finish it off with a few dots. Or wide and short. Rana really smacks that one, but picks the fielder out on the boundary and hit it so well, he's only got 1. So got away with that one, Nasmall. Last ball of the 10th over. A lock comes across and one hand on the bat just plays it. A lofted shot down to long on, and they come through for single. So 65 for 1 after 10, and we'll have a short break. So we are back here with Tanbeer bowling. A lock 22 off 31, Rana 28 off 24. That short mid-wicket getting a lot of work this over. Tanbeer keeping it nice and full. Another nice full one. Straight over the bowler's head, and that is going to go for 4. So a good shot by a lock there. Good straight bat over the bowler's head, and Sheben unable to come around from long off in time to cut it off. And there's their 6 runs for the over. So come back out and just doing the same as they were before, as that is down to Sheben for a single to finish over 11. 72 for 1. Only 5 and over needed from here. You would think the riders are very much in the box seat. Nasmul will continue here from the Stockholm end. A lock and the umpire having a chat. Not the most pleasant person on the cricket field, a lock. Asphalt comes in, and that's a wide. Well taken by Riaz. Run partnership up between these two. It's just what the riders needed. Just over a runner ball. Runs towards the bowler, gets one on the pads and just drops it down for a single on the leg side. Doing a fantastic job for their team here. A lock supporting the captain well. And Rana, not a very convincing shot, but gets through for the single. Still bowling from very wide of the crease. That's through him. Bit disappointed with letting that one through for another single. On the pads, down the leg side, Rana can't get a tickle on it. And it is called wide. So Rana will be disappointed. Didn't need to get much on that, and that would have been 4 runs. I don't think the bowler liked the call, but it has been given as wide. Wind still pretty strong. The camera gets buffeted around. Rana leans back and plays that down to long on for a single. Now small lock, played that straight up in the air. Fielders converging. Oh, and they all got in each other's way. And the catch goes down. So no communication there between the fielders, unfortunately. Bowler wanted it, Shoaib wanted it, and in the end, neither of them had it. Simoon, hello. Good afternoon, Dave. Looks like a bit of an upset is on the cards. Riders in complete control. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of this defensive field the Rising Stars seem to have. Well, I said it earlier. If you've got such a small total on the board, you can't afford to just give them 3 or 4 easy singles and over. So completely agree, Simon. I would have had maybe 2, maybe 3 on the boundary, but the rest up and make them hit over the top. And potentially you can pick up some wickets that way. So another good over for the Riders. 81 for 1 off 12. And 36 needed from the final 8 overs by the Riders. Shoaib brings himself back in for the last roll of the dice. It's going to have to be something pretty spectacular from here for the Rising Stars. The Riders doing it very easily. Shoaib in to a lock. And continues with these just short of a length flat, quick off spinners. And a single, another very easy single to a lock out to the sweeper on the leg side. 1 for 18 off 3.1. That's a pretty good ball from Shoaib. Tanvir comes around to cut it off and no runs. But yeah, the issue with the way they've approached this is you're never going to contain a team when you have such a small total, as Rana hits that straight up in the air and is caught. So the short leg spinner from Shoaib, probably the worst ball he's bowled of the day, and Rana manages to hit it straight up in the air. No one got in each other's way that time. Very easy catch for the keeper, and the second wicket falls. So Shoaib brings himself on to make the difference, and he's got the wicket, the very important wicket of Rana. But still Riders on top here with only 35 needed in 46 balls. Who will come out to join a lock? It's someone in a jacket. He's realised and he's now taking off the jacket. It is going to be Hardik for his first game this outdoor season. He's just got back in the country and one of the best players for the Riders. They've definitely missed him. So he definitely has the ability to go big, score quick runs, but decent technical ability too, so he can just push the ball around here, doesn't have to take any risks. And Riders will be hoping he can see his team home. Shoaib needs more wickets here. 3 balls left to bowl. Comes in to Hardik, another leggy, and he just moves across and hits that into the leg side, and the fielder on the boundary has gone straight through him for 4 runs. A very, very poor effort there from the boundary fielder, and that is not going to make Shoaib any happier. 2 balls left for Shoaib. Offie, short, and pulled by Hardick. Great shot. Fielder comes around, tries to field with the feet, and is unable to stop the boundary. Another pretty poor effort on the boundary there by the Rising Stars, and they look like they've just about given up here. 27 needed in 43 balls, and the fielders are making it very easy for the riders here. Last 2 overs, dropped catch, 2 boundaries this over that both should have been stopped. Last ball for Shoaib, and spoke too soon. That's a massive wide. So all falling apart today for the Rising Stars. Leggy and another wide for Shoaib. Just looks like the Rising Stars want to get off the field as quickly as possible here. Another leggy down the leg side and called another wide. So a hat-trick of wides for Shoaib. I'd imagine he was looking for a hat-trick of wickets instead, but it has not worked out. Yes, Simon, I'm not even going to read your comment because it very quickly became clear it was not going to turn the game the wicket of Rana, unfortunately. Hardick just tickles that around the corner for 2 runs. So 13 overs gone, 7 overs remaining, and just 22 runs required for the Riders for their first win of this T20 season. Rising Stars, heads down, walking slowly, no real conviction from any of them here. Yusuf looks like he's going to come back into the attack from the Stockholm end, and unless he does something pretty spectacular, this game is going to be over very soon, with the Riders looking locked on here to pick up their first win and go equal with the Rising Stars on 2 points. So a lock still in, looking to take his team all the way here. Just 22 more required. Clouds starting to clear a bit overhead as, wow, that is short and wide, and Alok did his best to try and hit it, but couldn't get to it, and it's a wide. Yes, it is quite windy today. The camera's copping a fair bit of it, and another short one from Yusuf. Alok manages to get something on it, and they'll be looking for 2, and they'll get back for 2. So Yusuf completely has lost his length here, and Riders will take all the wides that the Rising Stars want to bowl. That's a better one. It's full. He's appealed, but clearly pitched outside leg stump. There's a look came down and tried to hoik it over the leg side. We are investigating a bit of bracing for the camera pole. Hopefully that'll be in place in the next couple of weeks as the wind continues out here at Tiskre. A lock just drops that into the offside and through for a single and takes the required runs down to 18, and the Riders score up to 99. Hardick with 10 off 3. Although both of the boundaries he scored last over probably should have been cut off, but looking good, and cuts that into the offside for another single, and there's another misfield, but won't result in any more runs. As Yusuf in again, and another short one down the leg side, and somehow a lock has managed to get either glove or bat onto it and stop it being a wide. And a dot ball. So doing some favours for the bowlers here, a lock. On the pads, hit straight to the man at mid-wicket, and he has a throw at the stumps, but no run. And that is the end of 14. Riders have their 100 up with only 2 wickets gone. 6 overs remain and only 17 runs required. Let's have a look in at ground 2. As the Bulls seem to be losing wickets in their chase against the Wolves. Chasing 141 for victory, and they are 89 for 6. So not looking good for the Bulls there against the Wolves as they continue their excellent form in this Division 2. Tartu Wolves looking like picking up victory number 4 from 5 games, and joining the Viking Stars at the top of the table. Of course, they'll have another game this afternoon against the Tigers, as I can see another wicket going down. So it doesn't look like that game's going to last much longer. And they will be playing the Tigers later on this afternoon. Sheben back into the attack here. Bowling to Hardick. And flat and short on the stumps. Just blocked back to the bowler for no run. As the wind picks up the camera again. And that's a fuller one from Sheben. Hardick drives it hard, straight back to the bowler. Couldn't get a foot on it, and they get a single. So, yes, I'm very glad to be inside my little commentary hut, not out in the wind today. That's flat on the legs, and did he get something on it, or is this going to be wides? They're coming back for 2. Looks like there was bat on that one. Umpire Mac records the runs on his score sheet. Sheben continues to a lock, who's on 36, not out. Drops that into the leg side, through for another single. Just too easy for the Riders, and really has been too easy all day for them. Hardick goes back, gets an edge, but it's safe and no run. Full on the pads, going down leg. Sheben knows it. And another dot. So it looks like he's going to switch to... Oh no, that is the end of the over. So 104 for 2. 5 overs left, just 13 runs needed. Doing it very easily here. The Riders just 2.6 per over required from here. I can't see this getting to the 20th over though. I think another couple and this will be done. So Nazmul, it looks like, will come back into the attack here. And a lock on 37. Needs to score all 13 required runs to get his 50. Probably a little bit too much to ask, but we shall see. As Nazmul comes in, short, outside off, and a lock beats the infield, but it will just be 1 run. Nazmul in again. On the legs, Hardick moves across and just defends that back to the bowler. Feel like he probably would like to play some big shots, but he knows only 2.5 required and over. Just hit the 1s and 2s, get the team home. As he rocks back and cuts that, but straight to the fielder and no run. Lovely shot, but could not find the gap. And he looks like he's in a pretty good touch, despite just being his first game of the season. Full on the pads from Nazmul, that is probably, no, not called a wide. Maybe he's got something on that. Must have just tickled at the edge of the bat. And another dot ball. Nazmul continues, and Hardick's tried to get the front leg out of the way there and hoik that over the leg side. A ridiculous appeal from the Rising Stars there is completely ignored by the umpire. Short and wide, and it's going to be called a wide. So Nazmul with a pretty good over so far, just the 1 run and the wide. But I would imagine just delaying the inevitable here as Riders look to just canter to this first win, and that's down the ground to long on for a single from Hardick. A nice shot there. And moves the score to 107. As we seem to be 1 ball short. Umpires are satisfied that they have the balls correct, so scorers must have missed one. Sheben will continue here from the Kiev end. And the scorer has done exactly what they shouldn't do, which is put a dot. Doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they just don't follow instructions. Sheben in full. Hardick goes hard. It's in the gap. Fielder's coming around, won't get to it. And 4 runs for Hardick. So wouldn't say the best effort on the boundary there. More attempted fielding with the feet, but a good shot from Hardick. And that moves them to within 1 shot of victory here. 6 runs needed. Sheben hurrying through his over here, just trying to get it done. Pitches up. He's got underneath that. That'll be it. That'll be 6. Lovely shot from Hardick. Saved the big shot for the end, and the Riders record their first victory of the 2023 outdoor season. They will move to 2 points with the Rising Stars in what could be a fascinating relegation battle as we move into the final stages of this T20 season. So, an 8-wicket win for the Riders, really set up by a fantastic bowling display, especially from Rocket Ronnie this morning. We will be back at 3:15 for the next match, which will be Riders taking on the Stallions. So can the Riders cause another upset? Stallions still undefeated in this T20 Championship. So we'll be back at 3:15 with that match.